Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Gardening in the Delta. Today, I'm going to plant probably my last container plant on the deck, and it's going to be this gorgeous Caladium. It is absolutely huge. It's a big one. It's going to get even bigger, too. Let's see what it says. It is annual, just Caladium. Doesn't really tell what type, but that's okay. I had to find a big enough pot for it, though, because I've never planted one that huge before. I usually plant bulbs. Here's the giant pot I got. It's a 20-inch across. It has numerous drain holes, which I'm glad. That's going to help a lot. It'll blend in with my other pots, so it's just like my other pots, just bigger. And before we begin too much further, let me see. I got links down below to my other channels. There's Susie Q Knickknacks, Brother Claude Reflects, and Cooking with Mary Sue. And there'll be a link to my eBay store. And I like to mention, Miss Kitty's not here at the moment, but the book I wrote about our cat, Miss Kitty, our outdoor cat. Awesome Adventures of Miss Kitty and Her Woodland Friends. That's now available on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and iTunes. Here's a quick update on the hostas I planted about a week or two ago. They are growing fine. They're so happy in their pots. This has already gotten a huge bloom on it there. It's going to open soon. All of them about twice as big as when I planted them. The lantana is still blooming out here. You see the new growth on this one. Looks a little bit lighter shade. Oh, we got some multiple new growth on the caladium over here too. Do you see this cloud over here? This leaf here? Looks like more green than the other ones.
Yeah. That's probably because it's in a deeper shade.
Mm-hmm. Probably needs more sun to bring the red out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's still gorgeous. Still pretty. This another one doing great. That one. The corbels are happy. This one's starting to spread out bigger. All of these over here are about twice as big as when I first put them in there. So everybody's enjoying the new home for now out here. We just gotta get this one in its new home, and we'll be done out here for a while. Let me show you on the hydrangea. That hydrangea is the first thing I put out here, probably a month ago now. I saw 4 new clusters of flowers starting to come up on the hydrangea over here. Remember, I had to cut off several parts that were dead, and it's got a lot of new growth on it. It's got some new buds coming up right there. There's some more right here coming up. This set right here. And here's another set right there. So it's going to be 4 new clusters of flowers. Be blooming hopefully in a few more weeks. Maybe a month. I don't know how fast it goes. But it's definitely happy here in this little corner of the shade. And the polka dot is more than twice the size when I first put it out here. It's gotten fatter, it's gotten wider, and more than twice the height. And I think it's still got a little bit more height to go. It gets up to about 2.5 to 3 feet almost. So it'll definitely get a little bit bigger. Now back to a pot over here. This huge pot. It's going to take a lot of dirt. I got a whole new bag if I need it. We were discussing, trying to figure out what there's 3 little slits in this pot on 3 different sides here. There's another one over here too. Claude had a great idea. Maybe it's to hang. I said, well, yeah, we could hang it. Just have to have it hanging on a huge oak tree. It's going to be mighty heavy when, when we get the flour and the dirt in it. But we'll get back to this. I'll start filling this up and get right back. Down here. Okay. Got about half a bag of dirt in here. I'm going to make a little hole here. See if that's going to be big enough yet for that big pot before I add any more dirt. Wow. This is what size pot? I'm trying to see what size pot it says. It does, yeah, it does 1.75 gallon. So it's not quite a 2-gallon pot. Let's imagine. Oh, that's a pretty good spot. I think I got it deep enough. Caladium are usually pretty easy to get out. look at all those stems in there. That's a big plant. I see another new little leaf coming up in the middle there. Hoping,
Be careful you don't break it.
yeah. Should I just pick it up? Woo! Got it. Let's see how the root system looks. Oh, look at that. Got a great root system. Turn the other side around. I don't think I've seen one that numerous before. It's too bad these are annual. I hate to see this die. They're so gorgeous.
Well, we're going to try to save the bulbs. And we'll report next year whether they survived or not.
Try to get right in the center of the pot if I can. It's hard to see up under there.
You would think if Mama's amaryllis bulbs would last over a winter, that these would too.
Aren't they in kind of relative cousin to each other in a way?
No,
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think these are probably kin to elephant ears. And you can dig elephant ears up and put them in a cool, dry place. They'll come back next year. I used to have banana trees that I dug up every autumn and put them in the attic, then brought them out in the spring, and they came back every year, bigger and better. Yeah, you're way too low on that.
Oh, too low?
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of root ball cover up with dirt, though.
Well, yeah, but if you put your hand to the top of the dirt,
It's a little
you've
below
got
the pot.
about
Yes,
3.5 inches.
So you want high, okay. Okay. Pause that minute, I'll get some more dirt out. We got it settled on the right height. We brought it up about, what, about 2 inches probably?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not, top of the root ball's not above this. It's just maybe a 1/4 inch below it to give it a lot of room for the roots to grow downward. I got a new little scoop here. Use this old measuring cup. Has a good little handle on it. I started to throw this away because it's not broken, there's no chips on it, but the writing has worn off from being washed too much. You can't read it. But I decided to keep it for a scoop. And it works out better than those other little things I was using because of the handle.
So in other words, you repurposed it.
I sure did, yeah. Yep. It'll last a long time until I drop and break it.
What are you looking at me for? You're the one that breaks
I
everything.
know. This is a very beautiful caladium. I wonder if it's going to get much bigger than this. It does have some new growth coming up in the middle of it. This is going to take a while to fill all this in. It's such a big pot. You might want to pause for a second until I get it filled in.
Okay, well, Mary Sue is filling the pot up with dirt. Thought I'd take a walk over here and show you, if you saw our video last week, you saw a tree that was right there at the corner of the house. It was too close to the house, and it was covering up the azaleas. As you can see, the azaleas are growing out this way, but there's no growth on the side toward the house. That's because it couldn't grow. None of them could grow because of that tree. I talked to a friend of mine at church, Brother Larry, and he agreed to come over with his chainsaw and cut this tree down and the dead dogwood that I showed you in times past out there by the garage, the driveway. And I was sitting in there watching TV, waiting for him to come over. We were going to videotape them cutting these down. And Mary Sue looked out and said, "He's out there cutting the dogwood down." Well, I jumped up and went out. By the time I got out there, he'd already come around here and had this tree almost cut down. I was going to help him, and Mary Sue was going to videotape it. So that's why we don't have it on videotape. But we'll take a look at that next spring and see how the azaleas are filled in. Going back to the deck now. Have you about got it ready?
Oh, about half full.
Oh, well.
Watch your...
That mulberry tree is growing right there.
It sure is. It's about a foot higher, or 2 feet higher than
Yeah.
last time I saw it. I guess all that rain has really helped. We got some heavy rains at least twice in the last week. They were short, not long, but they're heavy.
I kind of cleaned out around the Japanese maple over there. If you can see it, just barely see it at the top. And Mary Sue just informed me that she read they only grow about 1/4 of an inch a year. So it's going to be a while before that becomes a sizable tree.
But it'll be gorgeous when it does. I love Japanese maples.
Well, we have 6 of them planted around here.
You just need to plant them when you're very young.
Yeah.
Plant them when you're a teenager.
Better still, get your parents to plant them.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming along pretty good there.
Yeah, I put it all on one side and kind of pushing it over
Mm-hmm.
instead of moving the plant.
Yeah. Still need to fill in about
Oh, yeah.
half an inch.
Mm-hmm. Half inch to an inch more at least. That's why we're doing a cup at a time. Dirt.
We've been planning on Mary Sue videotaping me transplanting some iris and daylilies. Well, when we get a chance to, pours down rain like it did yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, unexpected. We didn't expect the
And
rain.
there was no rain in the forecast, but we sure got 100% rain. And it's really humid today. I've been out murdering moles today.
Oh, yes. Plant more smoke bombs. Trying to get rid of them. Every time we turn around, we find another new one somewhere to come up. But the castor beans are growing. We planted a few weeks ago. They're coming up.
Well,
I think
yeah.
I hear thunder almost. Maybe. Thought I heard some. No, it could be just a
I
truck.
think that's somebody with a vehicle.
Yeah, hopefully.
Castor beans are supposed to drive off moles, and so I'll be letting you know next year if it works or not. I used to have castor beans when I lived up in Tennessee, castor bean trees, and after there was a scare of people mailing ricin out to people, senators and the president, they took them off the market because maybe I ought not be telling you this, but ricin is a poison made from crushed castor beans.
But you can buy them now on Air Now Again. I
Yeah.
bought some. And I bought a whole bunch, so you have to plant them every year. They are annual, so you have to replant them every year, which we will plant some more next spring.
Well, sometimes they come up from seed,
I hope
but
they
you're
come back.
right, the original plant will die down, and it will leave it's like a cane. It's hard, becomes hard, and you'll have to dig it up and dispose of it every year.
I'm pushing that dirt up around the base of the root ball pretty tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's
That's a
going down
train.
the road.
That's a train, isn't it?
Train? You see, there's some trucks going down the road. That road's bumpy and it makes a noise when trucks go down it sometimes. Or it could be a train. I haven't heard a train whistle yet. How's that looking? I think it might be high enough for now.
I think that looks really good. I have to feel.
Yeah, I do too. See how high it is from the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's about an inch from the top. You're gonna leave a little room for water and so it doesn't run over when you put water in it. And it will settle down after a while. I may have to put some more in next week.
I was going to tell you, you probably need to put a little bit more in there.
Well, this thing's taking almost a
You-
bag and a half of dirt.
When you're planting a plant, repotting like that, you have to be sure that you plant it in the new pot the same depth that it was in the old plant, in the old pot.
That's why when you repot, you're usually going to put it in a bigger pot than it came out of.
Well, there would be no reason to repot one
No,
unless you were putting it in a
Right.
larger pot.
Unless you just want it in a prettier pot sometimes. But you need room for them to grow. Okay. When I pause that, we will move this into position. I'm done. That was a big pot to pot. But look at this. They went from this little pot here, that's probably maybe a 12-inch pot, about a 12-inch, into this 20-inch pot over here. It's going to have a lot of room to get bigger, I hope. I don't think it's gotten as big as
Put
it
this
will
pot
get.
upside down.
Yeah, look.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's like moving from a Volkswagen to a Cadillac Escalade.
Yeah, right. Oh, I just love the color of the sort of a lime green with the red speckled all through it. Okay. I need to give it a little bit of water. I didn't bring my transplant water, but this will do for now. A lot of this dirt needs to be wet. Caladiums like a lot of water, like elephant ears. That should be enough for now. I'll give about half a gallon. About ready to call it day. Look, I need to hurry up and go get washed up and cleaned up. Get some supper ready. We're going to give it a wrap. See y'all later. Happy gardening.